If you don't want the gameplay of lone echo revealed, then don't watch this series of videos. The series of videos provides solutions to all the problems in lone echo, and it may be that you're stuck on a particular part and you can't be bothered persisting with some intricate procedure, then you will find it in these videos. What you won't find is an inset video of me flailing my arms about using the touch controllers. You won't find hilarious comments on gameplay. You'll simply find solutions from start to finish, and if you like that idea, why don't you give them a try? In episode 4, we deal with some optional activity in the container field. We then head to the primary dig site, and after that more optional activity we go and repair both the ComSat satellites and then back to Kronos 2.
The hell just happened?
Explosive decompression. The escaping gas caused the container to jettison itself.
Okay, so not exactly what we were aiming for, but... well, I suppose that takes care of our radiation problem. Good work. The sensor should be able to scan the anomaly free of interference. Okay, good start. We still need to find out what happened at the primary dig site and on the processing line. Let me know when you find out more. Hold on. Something's wrong with that Fury transport.
The one that collided with the container. What's wrong with it?
I'm really not sure. It's moving erratically, veering wildly off its flight path.
Could be a problem with the Fury's flight dynamics.
Probably just need to reset the navcom. If you get a chance, would you mind looking into it?
Copy that.
And I'm not sure, but I think we might need to resynchronize the container field's inventory control system.
Are these issues urgent?
Neither one's going to keep us from scanning the anomaly. Consider them both secondary priorities. Nice. Good work, Jack.
What is it?
Nothing. I'm sorry, it was like watching some sort of weird robot rodeo. Cowboy Jack ropes himself a Fury.
Do I get a hat?
A hat, fancy boots, shiny spurs. We'll fix you right up. Till then, you can just leave the Fury where it is. I'll have Hera run some diagnostics on it before I can reconnect the remote link.
Copy that. I'm moving on.
Happy trails, partner.
The best way to capture the runaway Fury is to observe where it stops. It always stops at regular points. Go to one of those points and be ready to leap on it as soon as it approaches, and that way it's a fairly easy task. When we highlight the objective details at a particular location, you'll see these little invaluable diamond orange markers pop up, and they give us the direction and distance to the objects with which we're supposed to react. You'll see it clearly in this episode.
Liv, you were right. The inventory control system is out of sync.
Probably got knocked off cycle by one of those pulses. In order to resynchronize the inventory system, you'll have to quickly scan each of the 3 I/O ports in the container field.
Hera, mark the location of each I/O port on my HUD.
Once you scan the first I/O port, you'll have roughly 70 seconds to scan the other 2. If you don't make it, the system will reset and you'll have to start again.
That's 1.
Clock is running. 70 seconds.
"50 seconds remaining.
One more to go.
30 seconds remaining. Ten, 9, success. Inventory control station synchronized.
That was impressive.
It wasn't all that difficult. After all, I was specifically designed to handle these types of demanding situations.
Plus, you're incredibly modest.
Thank you.
Select your destination. Destination, primary dig site. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
I'm still trying to work out just how the hell we wound up with a container full of concentrated deuterium.
I'm not certain. Deuterium is a byproduct of helium-3 atomic decay.
But helium-3 is a stable isotope. It would take centuries for it to decay. It doesn't make any sense.
Approaching primary dig site.
Any sign of activity? The whole site's gone dark, and we need the comms array there to boost the data buffer from our sensor sweep.
All systems appear offline. Emergency lighting only.
Damn. Well, clearly something went wrong here.
I'm sensing a pattern.
No kidding. That should be the new Kronos 2 mission patch. Just something went wrong. In big, bold letters. Anyway, better get to it. Let me know what you find.
Warning. Hazardous levels of radiation detected.
Right on cue.
I'll try to get the site's radiation dampener online.
Good idea. Make sure to check its backup power supply. It may have a dead battery.
Battery removed. It's definitely depleted.
Well, that explains that. Your Fury transport should have a spare you can replace it with.
Shields at 50%.
I've found this at a number of sites. When you try and remove the battery, it gets caught up in its surroundings. I'd be interested to know if anyone else has had these problems.
Shields at 30%.
The Fury transport should have an induction panel where I can recharge. The backup battery should be on the aft of the transport. Battery acquired.
Shields at 95%.
Power restored. I should be able to turn the dampener on now.
Shields at 50%.
Dampener online. Geiger readings nominal.
Nice job. That should buy you some time. If the dampener goes down again, you can recharge the battery back at the Fury.
A fusion generator, more than capable of powering the entire dig site.
Based on the radiation, I bet that generator has a damaged core. Look for a maintenance panel that you can cut open.
Maintenance panel removed.
How's it look?
The main reactor appears to be intact, but the fuel rod is partially melted.
Damn it. Better jettison it then. It may be good to scan it first, though. The data could prove useful.
Severe thermal damage detected. Main fuel supply depleted.
Depleted? Helium fusion rods can last a century.
Security base
How could it
disengaged.
discharge that much energy so quickly without exploding? Well, if you have a moment, could you scan those labor units too? The data could help me figure out what happened.
Fuel rod jettisoned. Generator systems offline.
Radiation dissipating. That core seems to have been the only source.
Good work. Now just get the generator a new fuel rod and re-engage the locking mechanisms. There should be a spare in the site's core enclosure.
I've located the site's labor units. They're unresponsive.
Damn. Try giving them a scan. Maybe that'll tell us what went wrong.
Broad spectrum lattice displacement. These labor units have suffered catastrophic radiation damage.
And all without setting off a radiation alarm or abandoning the site. It must have been sudden. That settles it. Let's get rid of the fuel rod. It's too dangerous to keep around.
New core acquired. Returning to the generator.
New fuel element accepted. Please re-engage safety protocols. Control rods engaged. Fusion reaction initiated. Please initiate a manual reboot. Connection with primary dig site re-established.
Excellent. I pulled a few labor units out of mothballs to mount the antenna while you finish the repairs. You'll need to assemble them before you move on. A Fury transport should arrive with them shortly. The data from your scans is bizarre. This sort of erosion... How could it have happened instantaneously?
Could the radiation have corrupted the data?
Possibly. But that can't be the only factor. This anomaly isn't just a mass of radiation. There's more to it than that. I'm certain now.
Labor unit online. Proceeding with primary assignment. Can I assist you? Labor unit online.
Labor units
Proceeding
online.
with primary
With them
assignment.
managing the data flow, you'll be free to operate the sensor once we're ready to scan.
You mean until something goes wrong?
I figured that went without saying. We're almost there. We still need to investigate the processing line. Update me when you arrive. Oh, and Jack, if you have a moment, search the primary dig site for another labor unit. I'm getting a signal from one nearby and we could use the extra set of hands.
Once again, just select the objective details, then follow the orange diamond.
My sensors are picking up a signal from deeper inside this cave. Liv, I found the labor unit. It has been dismembered, and it may have suffered internal damage as well.
Try to get its limbs reattached at least. We can perform a more thorough diagnostic later.
I should have put my headlamp on earlier.
Repairs complete. Unit 38, are you operational?
Affirmative. I feel lovely. Just lovely. How are you?
You have definitely sustained internal damage.
Negative. This unit is operating at 10,000% efficiency. As you can see, the bridge is in excellent condition.
This is a cave.
Negative, negative, negative. This is the bridge. I recommend you schedule yourself for maintenance, Echo 1. You are being very negative.
Liv, I've found the missing labor unit near the primary dig site and, well, it's disoriented.
What the hell do you mean by that?
Is that Captain Rhodes? Are you speaking to Captain Rhodes? Please tell her that I am nearly finished clearing her browsing history, as requested.
Maybe you should just leave it alone for now.
That may be for the best.
Select your destination. Destination, Kronos 2. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
That fuel rod was completely inert. It should have been good for another century before it burned out. Something very strange is going on here.
Inbound on the processing line.
So, we're going to need a lot of energy for this sensor sweep, but the pulse knocked out the flow control on the plasma lathes. They're burning out of control and draining the power reserves.
One of us will need to enter the processing line and reach the emergency reset.
Well, I'd do it, if you'd let me.
I find your disregard for your own safety confounding.
That's why we make such a good team. You're my voice of reason. My Jiminy Cricket.
In that case, we're doomed.
The pulse has the electronics in that area on the fritz. If you reset the power transformer, I may be able to run a diagnostic.
We're going to come back to this point in the next video, episode 5, to repair the processing line. Until then, we take a brief excursion to repair the two communication satellites, that's ComSat D4 and ComSat F7. Neither of these are part of the main storyline, and you can get right through to the end without even bothering looking at either of these two communication satellites.
Select your destination. Destination, Communications Satellite D4. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
I'm not reading getting a signal from ComSat D4.
Hera, run a diagnostic on satellite D4.
Scanning. Satellite offline. Solar panels are operational, but their current wattage is at 5% of their effective PTC rating.
Interference from the anomaly, I suspect. It should have a backup battery for these situations, though.
I'll open the maintenance hatch and take a look. Hatch open, checking the battery.
Here's another example of having difficulty removing the battery. First of all, it won't budge, and then when it does, it gets tied up in its surrounding physical terrain. I don't know what's going on here, but as I said before, this has happened more than once.
This battery's drained. I'll need to recharge or replace it on the Fury transport. Battery in place. Hera, status update.
Satellite D4 is still offline.
Strange.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
That would probably work, actually.
Usually does. You should be able to cycle the power at the emergency control panel, near the top of the array.
But first, another CubeSat to deal with.
Athena, bring up the next candidate, please.
Echo Program Candidate number 37. Lieutenant Rhodes, Olivia J.
Now this one's promising. Accepted into the USN Aerospace Academy at 16. Exemplary marks in engineering, geology, robotics. Elite stuff. All the versatility you could want in an astronaut. The USN even approached her for the Pythias initiative, but she declined. I'm not interested in leaving the solar
The
system
emergency
on this.
control panel. I'll need to cut through before I can access it.
She's right on the money. Took some prying, but the interviewer got her to open up about her family. Younger brother, Jackson. You could tell they were close. Probably had to look after him a lot with 2 scientists for parents. That's just what we need for Echo 1. She's perfect.
Satellite D4 online. Systems nominal.
Nice job. I'm getting a strong signal. It may actually help us get a better reading on the anomaly. Did you know that beforehand, Jack?
Of course, it only makes sense.
You can be quite the insufferable know-it-all sometimes. You know that?
Naturally.
Select your destination. Destination: Communications Satellite F7. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
Comsat F7 is inactive as well.
Damn. Hera, give us a level 1 diagnostic on all components.
Scanning.
Let's see. Looks like one of the Comsat's solar panels took some structural damage. It may have lost a few solar cells. You'll have to replace them. There should be some spares stored on the side of the satellite.
I'll take you directly to the missing solar cells so you won't have to search for them.
Together, these cells form a panel that collects solar energy. If the cells are damaged or removed, the panel won't function properly. That's one. Hera, status report.
Cell installation successful. 0 errors detected.
Acknowledged. Proceeding to next panel. Cell in place. One more to go. That's all of them. Hera, verify solar panel integrity.
Satellite F7 online. Solar panels optimal. Wattage stable.
Strong work. Combined with the signal we're getting from the other satellite, that should make our scan of the anomaly go much smoother.
Select your destination. Destination, Kronos 2. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
In episode 4 we got all those optional pursuits out of the way. The next thing we do at the start of episode 5 is head to the processing line to fix it.